Hey y'all, welcome to Catching Kierra. Let's go. We're gonna cook. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm still single. But honey, I'm living it up. Live it up. I look dumb. Black skin. We're in the kitchen and mommy's tired, so when mommy's tired, she gets snappy, slow,
Don't say that,
and
Kierra.
mean.
No, I don't.
She's putting on the front, honey. She be like, all right now, come on now.
Oh, Kierra, but let's come on.
See? Okay, so it's Valentine's Day week or something like that. And we want to ask you some questions, but we'll dive into cooking. It's another tip for mommy. Can you tell them what we're cooking?
We're cooking, actually, we're going to cook sweet potatoes. They call them yams, too. So, yeah.
Totally. Okay, let's jump right into it. Okay. Okay, so we start with this. They've made it easier. Mama taught me how to do it with just a knife. But what are these called?
Shredders.
Are you sure?
Are you questioning me?
Oh. I'm just trying to make sure we say the right thing. Okay, shredders. So we're gonna peel this. I'm only doing one, just to show you the process or whatever. But we'll peel this. Here's your sugar. This is vanilla extract, and this is nutmeg. And then we have a stick of butter. So let's go into it. All right, here we go. So you just peel this.
The wonderful thing is that you don't need water. Isn't that something?
All
That's
right.
what fascinates me about making yams. You don't need water. Some people started off with water, but you don't need it. One thing that fascinates me about making yams is that it makes its own juice with the sugar and the vanilla and the extract.
So the reason I wanted to do the yams on Valentine's Day is because I remember the first time I had a little boyfriend, and I said, "Mommy, I want to cook for him." And at first she was like, "Girl, you don't need to be cooking for nobody." But she let me do it, and sometimes guys are like, "Oh, I want my girl to know how to cook. I want my wife to know how to cook and make a home cooked meal, whatever." So, what other dishes there to start with? I mean, like macaroni and cheese, greens. They want to know if you can cook what? Yams, chicken.
Right, chicken and baked chicken and barbecue and all that good stuff. They don't want boiled everything.
Or microwavable things.
Exactly.
So I think I did green beans on my first date.
Yes. So what Kierra's doing is
Not my
she's
first.
taking the yam and she's shredding. It will be good to take it from the top and shred it to the bottom. Okay? So we want to take all of the skin off of the yam. Then we take a knife, Kierra, and clear this one is pretty clear. I was going to take the end off a little bit. Take that. We don't want that point in the in your pot.
Okay.
So you would take a knife and just cut that end off. Because we want to make your food pretty as possible. You want your presentation. Presentation is everything. You want your presentation to look very, very enticing and inviting. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Can I throw this away since it's about presentation?
Yes. And we want to always stay clean. When you finish one thing, put it in the trash. Always put your dishes up. If you finish with one dish, because that minimizes so many things around you. Okay, we don't need the shredder anymore, so let's move the shredder out of the way. Okay? All right. So,
Start cutting?
We're cutting, yes. So you're going to do maybe, what inch is that? You're going to make them a little thicker. Yeah, the thinner it is, the better it'll cook. If you cut them too thick, it might take a while for it to cook. So it'll be better for you Not real thin. Careful now. Okay, but that's a good size. Yes. Yes. Be careful with the knife.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the way I'm cutting this makes me look like I'm a little dangerous or crazy, but I promise I'm not. But another tip that you told me that I remember while shredding the yam, told me to make sure it was clear of all brown.
Yeah.
Make sure it's orange, and like you said, to keep it clear and orange looking like really fresh, you told me to put it in cold water.
Correct.
Because when the heat hits it sometimes turns.
Exactly. And then because you're going to be, if you're cooking for a large group, you're going to have more yams to cut up. So it's going to take a minute. So always take that that you've already used, your first yam, and put it in cold water so it can stay this color. Because we want to keep it pretty. We don't want them to get brown. Okay?
Okay.
Careful.
Okay. So we're going to put these in, right, Mommy? Just like this?
Yes.
Just put them in. And is that enough?
So you have one layer. What the key to it is doing it by layers, and you want to make it look neat. You want to make it look neat in the pot because sometimes we serve this and put it on the table. So if you're gonna have something like that, then sometimes people just use this to cook it and take it out and then serve it. But this is one layer. So you layered it.
Yes.
With and made it pretty, and then you take each layer.
Sugar.
You have sugar. Now this is the starting process of how your juice will come to pass.
I know it's a lot of sugar, y'all, but it's so good.
Yeah.
So just do it only on holidays.
Right. That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't go crazy.
Yeah, this is not a dish you just eat every day. Remember, we want to stay healthy. You said something about soul food for your soul or something like that. You said something like that. Really
yes. Soul food for what were we saying? Oh, we were just talking about how we're cooking in an educated way, and now the food becomes basically it's soul food, but soul. Yeah, you said it. Okay. Yeah. Nutmeg. That's what we put in.
Yes, nutmeg. That is something. It has a cinnamon sort of mixture with cinnamon and nutmeg.
So then we, take little slices of butter.
Yes, this is on top of the first layer.
And we just put it in there with the yams.
Yes.
And then we start our new layer and we put it on top of it.
That's the second layer. Correct.
Second layer. And then, of course, you would cut up more than one yam so you'd have more layers.
Yeah.
But we can just finish this, right?
Yeah.
And then we cover it with sugar.
Sugar, make sure it's covered. Make sure it's covered. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Is that good? That's enough?
That's good.
And then we put a stick of
butter on top.
So fat. We're going to figure out some alternatives, but it's so good.
So, what we would do after that, got your nutmeg on there. This is a really easy dish.
Yeah.
Okay? So, what we want to do, now another tip I want to give you. You can wait for the butter sometimes.
Okay.
But this, to me, I like for it to cook sometimes in it.
Okay.
But you can wait, because it takes approximately a good half hour for yams to cook. A half hour to 40 minutes to cook and be really tender. The greatest thing is that to make it really look pretty, you can wait maybe about 15, 20 minutes in the middle of the cooking. And then you put your butter in and then the vanilla extract because you don't want it to turn brown. Sometimes butter will make it turn it brown too. So you want to wait until the conclusion of the whole matter at the end of your cooking process of the yam, and that'll make it still look orange. Your yam still look orange and pretty.
Got it. So I'm going to put this in the thing. I'm going to put this in the, what is it? The oven. So while we're letting that repeat, Mommy, can you tell me some tips for Valentine's Day? I think we have some notes for you. When was your first Valentine's Day with Daddy? How old were you?
First Valentine's, maybe, we started dating at 19, so maybe around 19, 20.
Okay. Y'all dated at 19?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 20.
Okay.
21.
And what was your most memorable Valentine's Day?
Most memorable Valentine's Day. Actually, I got engaged on my Valentine's Day.
Really?
Yes. When it was coming to Valentine's Day, it was like Valentine's Day week.
Okay.
So it was close to it.
Gotcha.
So we were, he took me out and he said, I got something to tell you. And it seemed like it was something that was gonna be bad news. And he said, I'm so sorry to tell you this. And please forgive me. I know we've dated. He had this build up, like, it was just like, I'm like, oh God, what am I doing now? What are we doing now in this relationship? Because I felt, oh my God, here's some more bad news. So he says, I want you to know that I'm going to have to ask you to marry me. And he opened up and gave me a ring. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
So that's most memorable.
So when you said bad news again, what was y'all going through something before?
Yeah, we was going through. I got so tired of your dad.
Oh.
Just so on and off and on and off.
Oh.
So I mean, it's good to date to collect data. And you got to know a few things about
For sure.
the person that you plan to spend the rest of your life with.
Yes.
So that's what you're doing. You're collecting data. So in the process of us dating, we were actually collecting data.
Yeah.
Which means you're trying to figure a person out or trying to know what his track record is.
Yeah.
That's very important. You get into a relationship, you want to know the background.
Mm-hmm.
What are you involved? Find out who they connected to.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want that to clash with your relationship. I mean,
Right.
It could be anything. And then you don't want to compromise. Just because you like him. Hey, let's be so eager to go into a quick relationship. So it's good to date, but don't get your feelings into it, because I think that's where we mess up and then we become hurt.
Right.
Can I just be real with you?
Yeah.
I mean, collecting data, you're loving a person, and then you trying hard as church kids, making God a priority to abstain
Yes.
from sexual behavior.
Yes.
Okay? So, and we did.
Good.
Thank God, because, he was a minister at the time, and then I'm in the church, working in the church. So we had a relationship, and that's important. When you have a relationship with God, you want to try to please God, So that's very important. Make sure you have a relationship.
And can I
Please
just piggyback off of that?
Yeah.
I think it's so amazing that you all still promote abstinence. Because sometimes, I'll be honest and transparent, when you are intimately involved in someone, sometimes that alters your data that you're collecting. So you begin to become blind of the signs that you actually see. And it's like, I'm emotionally involved because I've had this intimate interaction with him, which a lot of us, we want to be wives. Sure. We want to show that person, I love you. And if that is our love language, maybe physical touch is our love language, and that's like, I really want to show you and give you all I can to say that I love you. And it's unfortunate because we don't have that circle anymore where we have friends that are encouraging us, try and abstain from it. Like at the end of the day, that's what's right. That's what the Lord wants for you. And now I'm seeing, this is why God wanted us to do it that way, because it confuses things.
Yeah.
It confuses things and it gets you off course, and that's not what holds a marriage together. So you have some marriages and relationships falling apart when it's like, this part of it is not going well, when sex is not what keeps a relationship together. It's love, and sometimes love is not enough.
Yeah.
It's compromise. It's your perspective, your mentality. How are you thinking? Are you just thinking in the moment? And I'm not saying that as I know, but just from experience of just watching y'all, it takes more than what we think it is.
Oh, it takes work. It takes work in building a relationship, especially with something that someone rather that you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to figure it out. You got to say, oh, he don't like this, or I don't like what he did the other night, or what he said. So it's like a building process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to try to move too fast and say, you know, oh, well, maybe I need to try to, you know, please him to make him like you. No, you be yourself.
Yeah.
You be yourself. If you were raised a certain way, you know, oh, well, my parents raised me to try to abstain from certain things, then you remain that way. Mm-hmm. You don't let anyone come in and dictate you to change your way. You say, you know, you like me for who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's important that you make sure you remain and keep your standards up.
So good.
Don't let them down.
Yeah. And I've learned, Daddy kept telling me that when I was just dating. And he kept saying, don't lower your standards. Yes. You don't have to lower your standards. If you're lowering your standards, then you're going to find yourself regretting that you even did that. Absolutely. And the worst feeling is to lower your standards for someone that it didn't work out with, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, let's do hot potato questions, okay? Fast questions. What does love mean to you?
Love means to me loving unconditionally.
Okay. Do you think there's only one soulmate?
Yes.
Okay. What is the perfect first date?
The perfect first date, probably not kissing.
Okay then. Yeah, why would you kiss the
first date?
On the first date, for sure.
Yeah, get to know
I gotta know you
first.
for sure. Okay.
You don't know if he brushed his teeth or if he, you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Be clean, you know, so just take it slow.
Yes. Okay. And then self-love. You manage so much well. I asked it before in another F that we did together. Mm-hmm. But if you could speak to your younger single self, what would you have told her?
I probably would have told her to be more attentive to the wisdom of my parents. Be more mindful of my church etiquette. Making sure that, you know, I probably, when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? It's like when I got older, I understood, but like listening to someone, having a mentor in my life, you know what I'm saying? Someone that would tell me, you know, no, baby, you know, we had some mothers back in the day would do that, but I, of course, I was in myself, and we were raised quick. Mm-hmm. You know, my mom, she was everybody's mother. So we had to share my mother.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I collected and embraced her wisdom, but she was traveling so much, mm-hmm. you know. And I think that, you know, it had to take on her sick bed, you know, it was too late then because mm-hmm. I wanted to be more attentive to my mother.
Yeah. Make
sure that you love on your parents. Mm-hmm. Don't take them for granted.
Yeah.
That's so you don't want them to get on their sick bed and then you be at their every beck and call then.
Right.
Do it now. Mm-hmm. You know, while they're in good health.
Totally.
So some things, that's just a number of things that I wish I could have.
Perfect. Okay, let's pull out the food. Whoa. You ready, Steph?
Okay, so this is the end result?
Yes, this is the end result.
Okay. Oh my. Yes. Pretty. Oh my.
I want to taste one.
Smells good, the aroma. Oh, Kierra, good job.
Thank you.
Pretty good?
Mm-hmm. Good. Very good. You want to taste one?
Did you put your vanilla extract in it?
I did. I put it. This is the other pot, but Yeah, so I don't need no more.
Okay.
Want to taste one?
Yeah.
It's hot.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Delicious. Very good.
Okay, cool. Love you guys.
Good
Thank you
job.
for tuning in to Catching Kierra. There's another mommy tip, tradition, her yams, and we're moving on. Click the bell, notification, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Tell your friends, your family. Happy Valentine's Day. Love on yourself. And if you're single, baby, enjoy it. Embrace it. Use the time wisely. And if you're with your loved one, if you have a significant other, love on them and make sure that they will never forget how much you love them. Like, it has to be evident. I want to know you love me. Okay? You're gonna love me.